We know the Australian Open, meanwhile, is making plans for January to get as many as 30,000 people on site down in Melbourne. Per day.
I think that's good to be able to make those plans, but you obviously have to make the adjustments because everything is so unknown. And I think it really comes down to a lot of those players that are able to adapt to those consistent changes that are happening week in and week out.
Look, the three of us were at the U.S. Open, and we were told from the start that all the plans were there to be changed, and they had to go depending on the situation. Luckily, and all due to the preparations from the USTA and the players, their sacrifice, everything went according or better than planned, as far as what I saw. But here in Paris, with the situation ever changing, we have not heard the last of the adjustments. And I think it's a little premature to be talking about Australia if we don't know what's even going to happen in the next 2 weeks.
USTA set a pretty high bar, right?
Yes.
With the safety of the players, not only the players, but everybody on site. How much pressure is on the French Federation for Roland Garros coming up to meet and exceed maybe what the USTA was able to accomplish?
Yeah, I think it was an unbelievable test because there was a lot unknown before the U.S. Open even started. I think there were some question marks on how successful that was going to be, and I think the U.S. Open did a phenomenal job. I think the players were pleasantly surprised on how well they took all the safety precautions and how safe everyone felt. So I think they set a very high standard, and I think, but it's good to actually emulate what they did and learn from what the U.S. Open did for these upcoming tournaments.
Well, there is a lot of pressure. They were the first ones to go and say, we are going to have it in September. Then they had to move it back a week because of the worldwide situation. But trying to have spectators is because of their financial situation, because of all the building they have done in the last few years. They have a responsibility. Those tickets are pre-sold, so they have to give that back. There's a whole lot going on and a lot of political pressure for them to put on this event, and I really wish them the best, but it's not going to be easy.
Yeah, I wonder what the point of demarcation is. 1,000. If it goes down to 1,000, is it worth it to have any at that point? Yeah. Because it's easier to keep safer with the fewer people you have in there.
Of course it is. I mean, I think they want to try and have fans. I think the players love it. It just brings so much energy and atmosphere to the court, and it brings that energy that the players love so much. So I think if they can, they should try a little bit, but obviously with the biggest precautions necessary.
Oh, the players are very concerned, I can tell you that. When they first heard that there was going to be public there were some screams and there were some backroom talks, and I'm really wondering, with the situation as is right now, is it really worth it to go down to 1,000? It's just better to have none at all.
I got to say, it is kind of cool, though, to hear those fans and see those fans that we've seen in Strasbourg and in Hamburg. And we got a lot more to come on Tennis Channel Live.